One thing I really want you to understand before we get into this workflow is that this is not just about generating AI content. This is about turning real conversations into structured marketing assets automatically. Historically, businesses would manually brainstorm blogs, FAQs, and SEO ideas, but now with transcripts and AI workflows, we can actually see what customers are already asking every single day and use that as a foundation for our marketing strategy.
So now that you're familiar with adding content using the MCP to a blog or a service page or whatever type of content that we're adding, we're actually now going to go ahead and get content from the client's data. So what I'm going to use is a tool called CallRail. And what this tool allows me to do is it allows me to record the conversations that our customers are having with their customers. The power of that is we can get content ideas. We can write content based on what they say to their customers. This is a call that they got a few days ago, or it was yesterday, and they're going to treat mud bees. The agent here, meaning the person that talked to the customer, gave us some really good content ideas based on that. I'm going to go over to the client's project and I'm going to run a really simple skill called calls. Now, this skill that I've created allows us to analyze their CallRail account for new calls that have come in, gather the transcripts, and use that as content ideas for my future blog articles.
What I'm really looking for here are patterns. If multiple customers are asking similar questions, mentioning similar problems, or searching similar services, that's usually a signal that we should have content answering those questions directly on the website. That is where the AEO opportunity begins.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to prompt this for yesterday. And when I get a return, you're going to see that it analyzed May 22nd, which is yesterday, a total of different amount of calls, etc. It'll give me a summary of what happened yesterday. It'll give me the top themes. It'll give me the questions that the customers have been asking. It'll give me the frequently asked questions we should add to the website, the blog topics we should add to the website. So what I'm going to do in this case is I'm going to go ahead and run the draft blog, create blog skill. And this skill, as you saw in the last video, is going to take all of the recommended articles. It's going to scan the website. It's going to make sure that it doesn't duplicate any topics. And then it's going to go ahead and draft that in the Duda editor. Once it's drafted, I'll show you what that looks like.
And what's important about this process is that we're not creating generic AI content. We're creating highly contextual content based on the real conversations happening between the business and its customers automatically. That makes the information significantly more useful, more conversational, and more aligned with how people actually search inside of these AI tools.
So as expected, here's my return. 5 unique blog articles that it wrote directly on the client website. Important to note too that these were unique relative to existing content, meaning like they're not going to duplicate the content on the website. That wouldn't be good for the search SEO. Now scrolling down, I can see that it actually published those directly as drafts. These are completely unique topics that are going to rank for completely unique terms in all of the different search engines. And then it also did all of the optimizations that are inside of that skill. So going into the actual editor, I can see that the 5 posts are now here, and I can click this little gear icon to edit them. Ideally, when you're doing this sort of SEO, you want to make sure that you're targeting the state or the town of that business's location. And then you want to take a look and see what the actual AI did. We have the title, which is the good. We have an image here. We can have a designer change that image or we can keep it. We have the opportunity to add a tag. You can see that it added the meta title, it added the meta description, but it didn't add an image alt text. So I'm going to go ahead and do that inside of the Duda editor. And now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go look at the post itself. A lot of the times when we do this, you want to take a look at the post to make sure that everything is as stated from the actual AI. So just by doing a quick glance, I can see that the post reads really well. I could have enhanced this post by getting some information from the client, but in this case, I just used a complete automated SEO to actually do this. And then I can read this post and take a look at it and make any optimizations to it while I'm inside of the editor. Optimizations might include adding a frequently asked questions section. It could be adding images. It could be adding a video. It could be anything along those lines. So let's say for this post, I wanted to go ahead and add a frequently asked questions. I would just put in the post exactly where it is, and then I would prompt Claude to actually give me 5 frequently asked questions, a question and an answer, and then I would drag and drop the frequently asked questions widget. So here's my exact prompt, and then I'm going to go ahead and run that. Claude, based on the context that it knows, based on what they said to the actual customer, is going to create 5 frequently asked questions. So you can see here, it looks good. And now what I'm going to do inside of the Duda editor is I'm going to add a small widget for frequently asked questions. Inside of the elements, I can go ahead and add the Accordion feature. and paste it here. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow me to add this really nice little accordion so that I can expand on this article. Below, I can enable the FAQ schema. This is going to allow LLMs to pick up this information accurately. I can also edit the design here by changing the title size, maybe to like an 18 so it reads well. And then I can also make it bold, and then I can change other things as well, like the widget. I don't encourage you to do this a lot. I think just keep it really simple is the name of the game here. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy and paste the content directly from here into my accordion widget. Okay, so there's my frequently asked questions. I can customize the post too by going ahead and adding a button towards the bottom to make it into a call to action. And I can make that button just say contact us. And then after scanning the post, reading it for some factual information, it looks good to me. So now I can go ahead and publish this post.
The goal here is not perfection on the first draft. The goal is to build a repeatable system where conversations continuously turn into content opportunities. Over time, if you do this consistently, the website becomes a living database of real customer questions, real business expertise, and highly relevant information for AI engines to discover you.
And it will appear directly on the client's website. If I want to take this a step further, I can go ahead and now optimize this by creating a really nice image for the post main image. This post main image is what's going to show up in the post section on the website. So if I go to the actual website that's live on the web right now and I visit the blog page, you'll see that the actual article is now showing up here, pest control for multi-unit rental properties in Connecticut. If I type this exact query into the search results, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to rank for this inside of the AI search results across all of the different places. So I'm going to increase my chances significantly by doing that. Now, inside of the actual post, if I wanted to change what this picture actually is on the actual client website, which was that preview, I can go ahead and go into the settings tab here and go ahead to the post thumbnail image and adjust this. There's two ways to do this. One is I can do it manually and I can create something inside of a tool like Canva, or I can create something inside of something like Photoshop. Or what I can do is I can use artificial intelligence to create one as well and make it a little bit more optimized. Depending on the strategy, if you wanted to keep them simple like this, you can go ahead and just do this with the pictures that AI is going to pick. But if you wanted to create something custom, you can use AI or change that image by just uploading a new image directly inside of here. Okay, so let's go ahead and recap this video. Which tool do we use to record and transcribe conversations to generate content? The tool is CallRail. Of course, you can use different types of tools. This is the one that we prefer. When using automated SEO workflows, what is the primary advantage of generating content from scripts? It creates unique themes that rank for specific terms across various search engines quickly over time. To maximize the impact of SEO, which geographical element should be targeted within the blog content? Ideally, the specific business location or state. I recommend a mix of both. Some businesses like local customers, some businesses will travel to their customers. So it's important that we start capturing both. In the editor workflow, which AI model is used to generate context-aware frequently asked questions? We're going to continue that conversation just directly inside of Claude. You can use GPT, you can use other tools for this, but because the context is already familiar in Claude, this is really easy for you to accomplish this. And finally, what specific metadata elements does the AI automatically add to the blog post settings during the drafting process? And that is the title tag and meta descriptions. Think of this as the billboard for that page. When an LLM agent or an AI agent visits your blog post, the title and meta description is what's going to get them to click. So with that being said, everyone, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.